Taehyung swallows thickly and feels an ice-cold sting in his stomach, traveling up his spine at the speed of light. No. Can't be. Oh, can it? After everything that played out during those fateful days about a year ago, he really didn't think Jungkook could go with him. But apparently, he has. It's Justin. Justin is Jungkook's boyfriend. Taehyung and Yeonjun stumbles out of the pub before everyone else, drunk and laughing, Taehyung forcefully having pushed Jungkook and Justin and everything else to the back of his head. When Yeonjun crowds him against the nearest wall, laughing, but with a challenging gaze, Taehyung raises a questioning eyebrow but chuckles lowly as well. You're with Jungkook. That much I know, Yeonjun states, keeping his hands on either side of Taehyung's head against the wall. I am, Tae. You're too good to be worshipped only by one person, am I now? He goes with it, though well aware that he's already taken it too far. Which, his foggy mind states, is a reason as good as any for him to just as well play along for a bit longer. Hell yeah, Yeonjun breathes in his face, fixating Taehyung with his eyes and staring at him curiously. His gaze is intense, very intense, and Taehyung has seen that look in guys' faces far too many times, knowing exactly what it means. He would be an easy prey for Taehyung, should he have wanted to, but going with another guy hasn't been a consideration of his, for many years now. The thing is, situations like this one, right here, never arises with anyone as close inside the circle as Yeonjun is. It's Taehyung's fault. He invited him, but Yeonjun really shouldn't have come. Yeonjun shouldn't have played along and fallen for Taehyung's drunken stupidities. That's what distinguishes Yeonjun, a new guy to their gang, from someone who's learned the unwritten rules by heart. Taehyung's close friends would probably have slapped him, had he initiated something like this with them. They would have pointed out that he was being inappropriate. Perhaps Yeonjun doesn't dare to do so. Perhaps he thinks that Taehyung is too intimidating still. But quite frankly, Taehyung doesn't think so. Yeonjun is attracted to him and probably can't believe his tits right now. Yes, this is Taehyung's fault, and Taehyung's fault only, and he's ready to take the full blame for it. Which means that he needs to end this craziness and also make sure that this doesn't haunt him more than needed. Yeonjun, the front door to the pub is kicked open and slams into the wall behind it. Both Taehyung and Yeonjun's heads snap in the direction of the loud bang, just to see Jungkook coming out of the pub, full speed ahead, but stopping abruptly when he spots Taehyung and Yeonjun in the somewhat compromising position. Yeonjun pushes himself off the wall within a millisecond, stumbling several steps backwards, staring at Jungkook as if he's seen a ghost, obviously not having been aware that he also was inside the pub. The doing Jungkook doesn't even dignify Yeonjun with a look, immediately fixating Taehyung with his eyes. Nothing. Taehyung is calm, but he understands how it may have looked from Jungkook's point of view, when Taehyung left the pub with Yeonjun's arm around him. And Jungkook can't read Taehyung's mind, which honestly would have been convenient right now. He kind of knows that Jungkook trusts him, but a lot of stupid stuff have happened lately and he's a bit worried that those things may affect Jungkook's clear thinking. Hell, it has affected his own way of thinking for the worse. So, what the f's wrong with you, Tae? Have you lost your mind? Taehyung starts to wonder if he actually has, because this is not how he usually behaves. Not around Jungkook and not generally. Why was he standing here with Yeonjun, again? Being drunk and slightly confused about the whole situation, Taehyung still recognizes a frozen Yeonjun still standing close to them. Hey, Yeonjun, Taehyung asks for his attention softly. I honestly don't think you wanna be part of this. Yeonjun nods quickly, catching on impressively fast. When he starts to walk away from them, towards the pub door, the others from Taehyung friend group starts to spill out through the already open door. Everyone kind of stalls when spotting Jungkook's wild expression, clearly making them hesitate about what to do. Taehyung sighs and turns on his heels, mumbling high enough for Jungkook to hear, "I'm not doing this here. Let's go home then," just like Jungkook had asked them to do just a few minutes ago. Jungkook is the thoughtful one, the grounded one. What could he say? Jungkook is by his side immediately, even though Taehyung had a head start. Together they walk to an available cab, jumping inside the back seat without looking back once. The ride to their flat is a quiet one. Neither of them seem to know how to start the conversation, or what they should start to talk about, for that matter. Taehyung turns to look at Jungkook, just to find that he's already looking back at him. Jungkook's gaze is intense and a bit intimidating, but Taehyung isn't backing off, staring right back. The moment is tense, but there's also something else lurking under the surface. Taehyung recognizes it as lust. Why does it always have to come to this between them? Why are they so ridiculously attracted to each other, still, that they can't seem to focus on the important stuff here? As for example, what it is that has triggered this mess. For one thing, they need to improve their communication skills. How can they go about to do that? But no. Instead, Taehyung bites his lower lip before he lets his jaw drop slightly open, turning his body to face Jungkook, starting to feel all sorts of feelings messing around in his body. It's not the right time to get a fit over Jungkook. It really isn't, but he just can't help it either. He's absolutely gorgeous and sexy as hell. Taehyung just can't seem to remember how to control himself. They've had so little the past couple of months that he's simply starving. Judging by the way Jungkook looks at him back, he's too. Not much beats between them, and they're kind of always up for it, so usually it never comes to this sort of desperate situation. But now it sure has. Jungkook turns slightly into his seat as well, and that's enough for Taehyung to lean in and press their mouths together. Hungrily, on the border of roughly. Jungkook hesitates in the beginning. Taehyung clearly feels him holding back, but it only takes seconds before he's forgotten about what he internally has told himself that he should do, and instead he just does what feels right. And when Jungkook throws himself into the game wholeheartedly, it gets downright. Neither of them cares about the poor driver, or the obscene, aroused sounds they let slip past their lips. They can't get out of the cab fast enough when it stops outside their building. Jungkook more or less throws an excessive amount of cash at the driver, can't be bothered with a card or phone, and then pulls Taehyung by his wrist, hurrying for the lifts. Whilst making out in the lift, Taehyung seriously thinks about hitting the emergency stop button, because he just can't wait. But then his comfortable side wins over his primal one, thinking that Jungkook's tongue down his throat, and his hand desperately, possibly can be enough for another few seconds, until they're on their floor. They've had more times than Taehyung can count, and they've done it in every single imaginable way too. But there's nothing like enough when it comes to Jungkook. Not even close to. The unimaginably amazing they have together is not something he'll get tired or bored of easily. Or ever. It tingles in his bones knowing that the urgency that are raging through their bodies will soon get an outlet. He just doesn't know how yet. One thing's for sure though, and that is that his body is absolutely screaming for Jungkook. He wants him so desperately that when the lift dings and the doors open, Taehyung almost violently shoves him out of it. It tends to turn out like this when either of them has been overly jealous, for whatever reason, or when they've had a fight. Making it inside their front door, Taehyung turns Jungkook around and pushes him, with the use of his own body, until he hits a wall loudly, and Taehyung welcomes it. He loves it when Jungkook gets loud. Grabbing Jungkook's hair and using the grip to turn his head so his cheek presses against the wall, Taehyung then pushes his own body against him from behind. Hear Jungkook loudly, a bit muffled though, due to his close encounter with the wall. "Come on, don't hold back baby," Jungkook challenges and gasps when Taehyung pulls his hair a bit harder. Taehyung has missed doing this and to see this side of Jungkook a lot. Jungkook loves to talk and get loud. Taehyung loves to be the cause of it and to listen to it. It's a perfect combination and Taehyung absolutely loves that Jungkook is determined to rile him up like this.